Good morning, everyone, wherever you're tuning in from, and thank you for joining. And welcome to Beamswap's AMA with Mixbytes, where we are teaming up to swap some talk, discuss Lido and Polkadot, DeFi, project updates, and more. My name is Jay. I'm the business developer at Beamswap, and with me we have Mixbyte CTO Dimitri and CPO Konstantin. What's going on, guys? Thank you for taking the time to join us. We're very excited to have this session and have an amazing opportunity for us to educate and engage with the community.
Thanks for having us here.
Yeah, no, we're very excited. Obviously, everything that you guys are doing, and in conjunction with Lido Finance and bringing stDOT to the Moonbeam Network and stuff, and Polkadot, it's really amazing stuff.
That's awesome to hear. We are pleased to get such an appreciation, and we are also happy to once upon a time have decided to move along with both Lido and Moonbeam.
Yeah, no, for sure. So I guess for everybody that's tuning in, or any of our new users that may not be familiar with your product and services, can you explain to us what Mixbytes is and how you guys are helping bring Lido Finance to Polkadot?
Yeah, sure. So initially, Mixbytes was mostly formerly known and still known as a security auditing company. And having got a lot of experience in that field, last year we've decided that it is time to come out with some of our own DeFi products. So that's where the inspiration came, having a deep understanding of the market, being highly skilled Solidity developers, and also having been in touch with Polkadot ecosystem for a long period of time. We've also explored the Moonbeam itself, and we've been monitoring them since the auction, the parachain slot auction. So yeah, maybe actually I jumped into the team a bit later, so maybe some part was covered mostly by Dimitri's participation.
No worries. Actually, as far as the team goes, that was my next question. Is talk to me a little bit about the Mixbytes team, about yourself, Dimitri, and the rest of your team members, and some of your guys' culminative experience.
Yeah, sure. So, as for me personally, I've been it is very popular to say the first Bitcoin was bought in 2020 or 2012 or something. But I really jumped into crypto 2017, if I'm not mistaken. It was Sex being developed under my management, and later on I kept diving deeper and deeper, but I finally switched to DeFi just only early this year, and I'm pretty happy to do so. Despite the fact that it's maybe not the best timing, because 2 years ago was much more faster moving things happening here, but still pretty happy. And I'm mostly covering the business and management parts, and the rest of the team is focused on production. Being the security auditing company, initially we have more parts dedicated to that department, and we have few teams of security auditors, and the team we are working with on Lido, Polkadot, and Kusama is the one dedicated on DeFi products. So we have also developers, both for the front and back end and so on. So yeah, there are more than a dozen or two for now.
No, that's awesome. Yeah, Dimitri, tell us a little bit about yourself.
Yeah, I started at Mixbytes as an auditor, smart contract security researcher. Yeah, and we've audited a lot of big projects like Aave, like Gearbox and 1inch and Yorn and so on. Yeah, and after that, I moved to production team to finalize development of Lido and Polkadot and Kusama and make some final checks of security and deployment. Yeah, and after that, I became lead in this direction too. Yeah, so we're really focused on our security because it's our main topic. Yeah, and we really experienced in this field.
No, absolutely. Like security is one of the biggest points in crypto or just in tech in general when we're talking about protecting users and their information and everything else. So I mean, it's a big deal, and I think it's great that you guys are heavily focused on that. And so I guess one of my main questions too is why did the Mixbytes team choose to work with Lido Finance and bring Polkadot to the bring Lido to the Polkadot ecosystem?
Yeah, because Lido has a very interesting program which names Lido Lego, and they can give opportunity to any well-known team to participate in development in Lido in other ecosystems. Yeah, and we really like Polkadot because it's tech, it's kind of amazing. Yeah, it's a lot of stuff that's new for all blockchains for that time. That's why we choose Polkadot, and there was no XCM calls at that time. So we've worked together with Moonbeam team to understand how we can make it most useful for us and for other dev teams. Yeah, and it started about 2 years ago, maybe a year and a half. So yeah, it was a long way, but it's worth it.
No, that's great. So talk to us a little bit about stDOT and just like how it works and what users can expect with liquid staking, to be honest.
Well, there is a lot of common between stDOT and the stake ETH. So most probably a lot of like you guys listening to us do know how does Lido on Ethereum works. So what we have here is that like there is the main caveat of having your assets staked, of them becoming illiquid, and that is what actually Lido initially resolves. So while having your initial asset, whether it is ETH or DOT or some of other networks that are already supported, you get another token one-to-one to the one you brought initially, and that one is having a ST prefix, which means it is liquid. There are actually two kinds of them. There are ST and wrapped ST. In our case, in case of Lido and Polkadot in Kusama, the staked one is a rebaseable one. So while the rewards from staking comes, they accrue in the whole pool, and that makes the amount of the asset grow, your balance. And because of the fact not all the protocols support this feature, we came with another version of the same asset, which is wrapped stake DOT or Kusama. And that one does not rebase, but has its price grow because of like the overall amount grows. And yeah, so actually, in just a few words, like stDOT or ST Kusama is an asset that you get like in return of your initial asset, and you may do whatever you want with it. You first of all may avoid the unstaking or unbonding period, because having it staked natively, you'll wait for 28 days for Polkadot, for example, and having your assets staked with Lido, you may just swap it back. there's plenty of pools, for Beamswap, for example, where you may just get it back without waiting for that. But it is not like the main idea of not just only one idea behind it, because there are some degens in the in the ecosystem who, oh, it's totally fine. That is why it was designed so as well, not just only to make it claimed instantly, but just to be utilized in different ways. So you may provide it as a community already. You may have some vaults for additional rounds, leverage aggregation, and we even had a new, it is small yet, but it is already a landing pool with Midas, so you may also experience that kind of utilization. So yeah, that is plenty of options there, and that is fantastic. Having something that initially was like cut in stone, you've staked it, and
it was locked up.
Wait, yeah, locked up. Yeah, in case of Ethereum, just locked up, and that's it. But
right,
like, yeah, for now we may expect it to be unlocked one day. But yeah, for Polkadot, just locked, and that's it. And then bonding period, and now it's resolved.
Yeah, it allows users to have the freedom to still stake the asset, receive stake dot, and still accrue a type of yield on it, as well as utilize the stake dot and apply it into other areas in DeFi within the space, which is some powerful stuff. So we have our XC.dot and wrap-stake dot pools on Beamswap. With, I guess, one question I think some users would like to understand is also just the idea behind a XC.dot and a wrap-stake dot pairing, as opposed to something like USDC or another asset.
You mean like whether we may expect some other type of pools to come?
Oh, I just was talking about like the XC.dot and wrap-stake dot, like a pairing in a pool, as opposed to like USDC, like wrap-stake dot and Glimmer, for example, as opposed to just XC.dot and wrap-stake dot pools.
Yeah, well, to be honest, there is no huge necessity for it for now, just only because of the whole ecosystem is just only being developed. So the most use cases are now settled around the providing liquidity scenario. But once we have some more, for example, landings or some other types of pools where stDOT or wrap-stake.dot serves as collateral, and when liquidations come into the space, then the real fun will begin, and then we'll definitely consider having some more type of the pools. Also, we were like up to getting some more pools dedicated to supporting all this stuff, because, for example, there were no real LDO liquidity, and that shows like we just move along with the things developing. We not releasing everything that comes into our mind. We just stick with what makes sense.
No, absolutely. Strategy, being strategic with everything that you guys do or everything that we do in this space is also important. So users also are able to claim Lido rewards. And can you guys go into any of the utility and stuff that they can expect with Lido token and Lido DAO?
Yeah, so first of all, I have to mention that there is a very useful and straightforward way to get understanding like how you may utilize your stake or ST or wrapped ST dots and kusamas on the widget page on the either polkadot.lido.fi. You may have a DeFi section where all the available pools or vaults, whatever, are listed. And at the very moment, if I'm not mistaken, each of them is being incentivized with LDOs. And that is not just only a way to like grab some more liquidity around there, which is also nice, but we like to have more and more participants in the DAO management, because Lido is like, by the end of this year, Lido finally is rolling really as a DAO. So there are so many things happening as like a real DAO may expect to have, and next year we'll bring in even more. So one, having LTOs may find a lot of proposals running on the research .lido.fi, and not all of them, like most of them is related to Ethereum being like bigger and longer present, but there are some up and running for the .sam ecosystem as well, and we'll be happy to see those LDO holders to jump into those threads, participate, and not just only in voting, but also in discussions, because that's a forum. You may openly propose, and you may not just only participate in the already up and running proposals, but you may come out with your own. There are a lot of things that we have to develop yet, because just like from out of the top of my mind, we have to like get more understanding of how your assets are being utilized right away. So that is not something we'll be most probably developing on our own. So one team or another may come and say, let's proceed, we may deliver this, and that may be like a proposal to be voted, or we may consider some node validator selection approach, which will definitely touch base later on. But there are a lot of topics. So having LDOs make you a part of the DAO.
Yeah, have a voice within the government, within the governance process, and some of the things that Lido wants to take direction on. So I think that's always some great stuff, and it's always great to hear from the community. It's one of the biggest things that we focus here at Beamswap as well, is just being community driven and listening to the community. Community is king.
Absolutely.
Which you kind of touched on some things, talking about the future, and with Mixbytes and with Lido. I guess for one of my favorite questions is, what are some of the things that are coming up for Mixbytes that you're able to talk about that you're particularly excited about, or something that you're just excited in the DeFi space to see going forward?
Well, to be honest, as for me, one of the biggest things for the next year, as I see it, is that we should put a lot of efforts to make liquid staking approval on like the valid narrative for the next year. Why am I saying so? Is because we now see that not just only Lido, but like the other parachains as well, have a like comparatively, I even just can call it smaller, little. It's nothing. It's around 1-point-something% of all the dots being liquid stake, and that means that there is a huge upside. So that is something we'll be mostly focusing on the next year. So there are definitely concerns regarding the liquid staking, and we are 100% sure how to address all of them, because as we've already talked about it, the first one is the security, and being in security auditing team, initially we know a lot about this, and we have this fully covered. We have few audits, we have a unified bug bounty program, both for Polkadot and Kusama. So this will be covered definitely, but there are some other concerns about the utilization, about like owning your keys and so on. But like it's all in front of you, it's all transparent. So we'll focus on communicating this, and having more and more dots coming into the liquid staking space will allow us to do all the other things. More protocols, more utilization ways, because we've kind of delivered mostly like most features of we've been even dreaming about. There are a few more to come, but there is really nothing to improve there, like in terms of how you as a user communicate with that. You may do whatever you want actually already, and even get understanding where the stake is now really in the relay chain and so on. But more and more protocols should come, and it is nice because there are more protocols coming into the Moonbeam.
Right.
So yeah, the first one is to like communicate it, and the second one is to utilize whatever we have running because of that.
No, absolutely. And I think making the push to to educate people and have conversations like these to talk more about liquid staking, how we can utilize liquid stake, how people can better utilize liquid staking and do things with assets they haven't even really thought of or implementing, and equipping them with the tools to educate and make informed decisions for themselves is really a good way to help grow just all of our platforms, and just really education is one of the biggest things. But
Sure.
yeah, I think I definitely appreciate what you guys are doing, and very excited to see what goes on in the future.
That's it. So do we.
Dimitri, you have anything that you're particularly excited about?
Actually, yeah, I'm excited about giving more information about what is liquid staking. For example, there was some case in Kusama network when ERA updating was stuck for several days. Yeah, and for example, Lido stakers was able to just unstake immediately with some pools that we deployed in Moonriver. And the same situation can be in Polkadot and Moonbeam also. So yeah, I think we need to spread this information for Polkadot and Kusama holders to show what is most good things about liquid staking. So yeah, I'm excited about that too. And as Costa already said, that we've developed a lot of things, and you can check it out depth in our landing. So maybe yeah, we will add some additional features if community will need something to increase our decentralization maybe, but it's decentralized as much as it's possible. Yeah, so stuff maybe I don't know, but move some DAO abilities to different networks. For example, as I know, in Lido and Polygon, it will be possible to vote on some topics on about Lido and Polygon in Ethereum network, and maybe we will add something too for this case.
Oh, that sounds very interesting. Definitely looking forward to that, to see where that goes. But yeah, for folks that are looking to participate in the XE.W wrap pools or want to learn more, can head over to Beamswap.io, join our socials, and check out our Medium articles and more. But also be sure to head over to Mixbytes.io and Lido.fi to learn more about the work that Dimitri and Konstantin are doing and how they're working to improve the space. I really appreciate both of you coming on here. I know it's the holiday season stuff. People are very, very busy getting ready to travel plans, things like that, spend time with their family. So really appreciate you guys coming on so we can talk with the Beamswap community and really educate folks.
The only thing I guess we'll just like to wrap this out with is essentially for you guys, like this is just a generalized question. Obviously, don't feel the need to answer if you don't feel comfortable answering it. But generally, lately, obviously, with the whole industry, I think it's a little bit shook up. There's a lot of people that have lost confidence in blockchain as a whole. And I think from our end, we see it as obviously a misconception of what's really going on. And obviously the real opportunity at hand is decentralization and DeFi protocols as a whole and what they have to offer, and really how, it avoids a lot of the issues at hand that we've seen to kind of put a bad look to blockchain. So from your guys' end, why is it that you guys feel that DeFi has such a strong future, and why you're so passionate about what you're building, and why the things that have happened in the industry as of late just shows strength for what we're building as DeFi protocols?
Yeah, like first of all, the first thing that comes to my mind when someone's talking about the bear markets and the winter coming is that we've seen that already a few times. So that happened and that passed, and that will happen again, and so on. That is what happens to other more traditional markets as well. Just things in crypto are more faster to adapt and to roll out and bounce and so on. So that is not something that really bothers us. And I won't jump on the thought that Dmitry will definitely share, because yeah, we have this one strong opinion on this part, about why bearish market is good. But apart from that, we've seen already that this brings us to each time this happens, that brings us to very next level. That's how I would wrap it up and pass me to Dmitry.
Yeah, in my opinion, bearish market is kind of maybe can be good, because there is a lot of protocols and tech that were developed during the summer, and after that we need to increase the security. I think it's good to have this right now to increase security of all DeFi ecosystem in different networks. So it's good thing, but it won't be long, because you can see about developers participation in Polkadot, for example, and it's huge, and it increased every day. So I think it won't last long.
Awesome, thank you.
Well, once again, Dmitry, Konstantin, I really appreciate you guys taking the time to come and speak with our community and really educate people about what you guys are doing at Mixbytes, as well as in conjunction with Lido Finance. And looking forward to what you guys are going to be building in the future. And I hope to have you guys on in another time. Yeah, it'd be great.
Yeah, couldn't talk. Thanks. Yeah, absolutely. That was a pleasure, and we are really happy to walk through what we have on our side, and saying thanks to Moonbeam and Lido for having placed a lot of efforts to make this up and running and keep on building, and you guys as well. And happy to work with Beamswap as well. So let's see what the next year brings to us. So towards 2023, and happy holidays.
Absolutely. Well, thank you everyone for tuning in. Happy holidays, and we'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace.